All right. My name is Robin Whitworth, and I have with me one of our Elevated Mother Experience clients. Would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us your name. Give us a little snapshot of your dynamic. Do you have children? Do you work? Do you have a partner? Tell us just a little bit.
My name is Kimberly Ampudia, and I we are a family of six. I have four kids. I work most of my life since having kids. I've just worked part-time, but I'm kind of working full-time right now. I've been married for 13 years, and we've been together for 16 years. Um, yeah.
That's awesome. Tell us kind of how you found the Elevated Mother Experience. Where were you? What was going on? What had you looking into this?
So I found this group from Missy Reaver, who is my coach, and I had followed her on Facebook for quite a few years. I actually did the math before the retreat, and I think I have known her on Facebook for like 10 years. She was my Beachbody coach for quite a while. So that's how I got to know her. And I think it was the last retreat that all you ladies did, not the last one that I went to, but the one that you guys did before that. Um, she had been posting about it so much on social media, and every time she posted about it, I was just like, oh my gosh, I need that in my life. I need that in my soul. And then like the more she started talking about like motherhood and the overwhelm of motherhood, and um, I just resonated with it so much because I was in a place in my life where I felt like my brain was spiraling out of control with to-do lists and tasks, and every day just would feel so overwhelming. And I just got to a point in life where I was like, this cannot be what God intended for life to feel like at this point in the journey. And I think those feelings came like at such a perfect time because that's when I found the group. And so, yeah, sorry, I feel like I just went off on a tangent there.
That was perfect. That was great. So Missy talked to you about the group. You decided to go for it. Um, and tell us kind of, was there anything surprising? Things that you were like, oh, I didn't know this would be part of it, or I didn't know that I would feel this way. Anything like you were getting into it, what did you think it was going to be versus what actually happened? We have a lot of ladies looking into this. Someone's going to watch
Yeah,
this that is thinking about coming into the program. Like,
yeah.
so how was that for you?
Um, I guess maybe I thought going into it, it was going to be more like ran like a Bible study where we're like diving into the Bible all the time and growing in our relationship with God, like in that way. Um, so I guess I was more surprised that like God definitely is talked about in the group, and I love that because we're all Christian women, but it's more about like working on your life skills and habits that help you become a successful human being, a successful mother in this life. And in the process of working on your life skills and your habits, and all of us women, we believe in God, and we believe in the same thing. And so God comes up a lot. And in the process, it's like my relationship with God has been growing this 6 months in such a tremendous way. Um, but I guess, does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's just not like all Jesus, Jesus all the time. It's more about like succeeding in this world and in this life. And God, you just take God's hand in the process.
Amen. Isn't it interesting? We find a lot of clients that are like, I thought I was doing that. And then they come in and it's like, once we show you how to do certain life things with what that looks like with God, a lot of
Right.
times that personal, maybe a more personal relationship or How would you have described it?
My relationship with God,
Yeah, just
or
like how you were saying, like you learn these life skills, but then it's like, oh, God's hand is in it now. It's like, why wasn't it before?
right. I think just you working on yourself and like, you pay the money to invest in yourself in this group. And I think you're ready to grow in all the ways. And the inspiration that comes from other women because of God and how they know God kind of bleeds into the group. And I know, so that's a big factor.
So tell us what's been your most favorite experience in the last 3 months? You could say it's your biggest win. You could say, but what's one of your most favorite things that you're like, "Oh, I will always remember this."
The first thing that comes to my head is the affirmations that we do. I think the affirmations is something that you always hear people talk about, you know, almost kind of sounding affirmations, kind of sounding like a cliche thing. But I think I went into the group being like, oh, okay, we're going to do affirmations. And, the first little bit, you're just going in the routine of saying your affirmations and stuff. And then all of a sudden one day it like changes your life. And 6 months go by and you're like, oh my gosh, almost every single one of these affirmations is coming true. Like, is that coincidence? I don't know. I don't think so. Um, but that, I guess the affirmations is something in a deep way. It helped me get out of my intrusive thoughts that weighed me down so much for so long. I never really realized how critical I was of myself. Like when it was time to start diving in to the program, I just, now that it's been like 6 months, it's just crazy how critical I was of myself and how sad I was about who I was as a person. And the affirmations were just a huge thing that made me it just changes the way that your brain thinks. And then when you change the way that your brain thinks in a positive way, positive things just start unfolding in your life in the process.
Yes, yes, yes. So do you want to share what was one of your wins? What's a win? Something that happened, one of these affirmations that came true that you were just like, wow, in 6 months this changed and I maybe thought it wouldn't for a longer period. I don't know, whatever was big for you.
Yeah, I would say my biggest, um, there was quite a few affirmations that were centered around my daughter. She's 14 years old and she has kind of been um, since she was like 10 years old, there's just been a lot of high risk behaviors. She's tried to end her life a couple different times. She cuts, she has depression, she has severe anxiety. Our relationship 6 months ago was super rocky, and I didn't know if her and I were ever going to have a good relationship because we just fought so much. We just butt heads, and she would be super disrespectful, and so then I would be super reactive. And like, hopefully this isn't like too much for this recorded call, but it is pretty profound because um that was one thing with my daughter is that I literally thought that our relationship was strained forever. And at the very beginning of this program, we got in a really big fight, and she had told me that she wanted to kill herself because of me. And sorry if that's like a little much for this call, but it is just such a huge thing because I don't know if I can say all the details as to what has changed in just like a short little call. But that girl has done like a 180. It's been insane. And I think I try to get into my head and tell myself that it's all just coincidence. You know, she had to go through some things and learn some things, but it's literally been 6 months since my daughter has said that. And I can literally say that that girl is like my best friend now. And she comes to me for everything. Um, she was a child that really struggled with making good decisions, and all of that stuff is turning around. She just seems like she is getting such a good head on her shoulders. And so that has been the biggest thing that has changed in 6 months that I did not think would change. I thought it would take years for my daughter to appreciate me, respect me. Um, so that's been huge.
That is huge. I'm like, whew, feeling it.
Yeah, she doesn't want to, she doesn't have feelings that she wants to end her life anymore. She has said things to her friends and to me about how much I have changed. And so I feel like she notices it the most out of everyone. So that must be pretty huge in itself, you know?
Yep.
But,
Yes, it is.
yeah.
Yes, it is. That's a powerful, powerful, and like you said, a profound evidence on the outside of how a mom's relationship can change with a child when she changes her relationship with herself and with her.
Yeah.
Um, what was your favorite parts of the program? You mentioned affirmations. There's a lot of facets to the Elevated Mother experience. We have one-on-ones, we've got group, we've got the workbook, we've got the vault, we've got retreats, we've got these different pieces. You've mentioned the affirmations, which are part of the workbook. Any other piece of the program that you love that you wanted to mention?
Yeah. So I definitely love the one-on-one calls the most. It's like, I think, well, I love the one-on-one calls, but I also love the classes too, because I get a lot out of both of them. Because when we do the Zoom calls where everyone gets online, it just by talking about all of our own experiences and things that we're going through, it's a way for all of us to feel like we're just all the same, going through the same things. And we um when we talk about our problems and our experiences that we're going through, we somehow help each other at the same time without even realizing it. So I love that. But the one-on-one calls is like your little life coach in your pocket, that you're like, if you need to reel things back in, or if you have a problem that you're struggling with that you just can't get past. Like, I think I got to a point in the program where I was like struggling with doing all the things, and I started being very aware of some thoughts that I had been having, that they were just like thoughts about what everyone thinks about me all the time. And it just became so obsessive in my head that I got to a point one day where I was just like, you know what, Missy, I was like, I think there is some worthiness issues that I'm feeling. And so things like that, this program will make you so aware about random different things. And then you have a coach that you can call, and you spend a whole hour, working on that one piece that you might be frustrated on. You can't seem to grow in a certain area. The one-on-one calls and even the Zoom calls, um, they provide so much help.
Thank you. I love it. I love hearing, even for me, the feedback. I'm just like, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So someone's watching this a mom similar to you, probably. She probably saw your image, was like, she relates with me. She's having hesitations. She's like, is it really going to be worth it? I mean, maybe I have insecurities about things I've done or the money situation. I have hesitancies. What are you going to tell this mom if she were to come on with us today and she's like, well, I'm worried about some of the same hesitations you had before coming in? What do you tell her?
Um, I guess my hesitation initially was the money. And I guess if you if this is a program, if you're looking at this program and what this program provides, and you keep telling yourself over and over, oh my gosh, I need something like that. This seems exactly what God wants for me, intended for me. I would say just like take the jump because it's been the best thing that I've done for myself. And even when I expected my husband not to support me, I brought it to my husband and I said, look, I laid it all out for him and what the program was about. And I was like, I feel like I need this program. But I expected him to not be on board because of, a lot of things. If there's a price tag for him, he will, either shut it down or make justifications as to why we shouldn't do it. And he just jumped on board like immediately and had such a soft heart for how much he thought that I needed this program and that we needed to do whatever we could to make it work. And that was shocking for me. So I guess if you're having hesitations and um, bring it to your husband, see what he thinks. And if your husband supports you, that's like a big win. Um, but I think, sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to describe all this, but I just think it's a program that you have to do that you won't regret. It's a way that you can work on yourself. And when you work on yourself, you're becoming a better mom, you're becoming a better wife. Um, and there's no therapy session that I've ever done with a counselor that can do this type of work. Um, so
Beautiful. Any last words of wisdom? Something you want to share with the moms watching this? And it's okay if you don't have one. But if you're like, I just want to say this.
Well, I guess I could say, like one of the things that we didn't talk about is your vision. Like one of the things, like I guess if you're having hesitations and one of the things that you're experiencing in your life is you are feeling stuck and like you can't ever make it to your next goal. That's one of the things that we work on in this program. And like you actually like draw out your vision. Um, and it helps get you to the places that you want to go. And there's not really anything else in life that provides that. So this program provides that. You lay it all out, work towards your goals, and you don't only just have a coach to help you through your goals, but all these women that you're growing these relationships with, they help in so many ways too. So
Thank you so much, Kim. Thank you so much for your time and
you're
doing this
welcome.
for us. Beautiful, beautiful. It's been a definite honor of mine to be on the sidelines and like watch this thing. There's been so many times, ladies, whoever's watching this, where Kim comes on a call and just shares the progress she's been willing. She's been one of those star students that is willing to sit with things and say, what is this? Let me ask a question. And then she comes and shares the results. Many times I'll be listening to the classes, because different coaches will lead and Kim will come on and share something. And I'm always just like, oh, my heart is just like, the work that you're doing, Kim, is just monumental.
And I guess that's one thing that I would like to share. I guess one thing that I love about this group is I've been in a lot of Facebook groups, support groups, random free groups for like Beachbody or, You know, like I know we have like groups in the valley that'll, get moms together for hikes and whatnot. And I don't know, I've just been a part of so many different groups, and one of the things that's always been frustrating for me about all these random groups that I've been a part of over the years is there's no interaction.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a little obvious about how much you can get from this group, but that is what I love about this group is every single woman that is in this group is ready to be vulnerable. They're ready to share their experiences. They're ready to help contribute to a problem. I love that about this group because everyone cares. Everyone loves each other so much. And like in like random, beach body groups or whatever, you just didn't get that. And there's a lot of heart that's in this group, and there's a lot of interaction. So
Yes.
you don't have to be worried about, paying a bunch of money and nobody puts in any effort. There's a lot of effort that goes in from everyone. So
Yes. The collective is definitely alive.
yeah,
Definitely alive.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Which is way cool. Well, I'm grateful for what you've added to the collective. It's been
Thank
fabulous.
you.
So good.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll let you get on with your day and we'll give you the recording when we're done.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much, Robin. Bye.